Got a little Celica video today. Engine's running good. Put it all in. Clutch is releasing all the way at the very bottom of the floor, or rather engaging all the way at the bottom of the floor. So to adjust that in an ST185, I would assume it's the same for the 165 and the 205. Just easier to take out the driver's seat. I already did that. You just kind of sit in here. You just kick your feet up and then get up underneath here. And you guys can see, so this right here is your clutch pedal, this guy right here. Now I was having the problem of pushing it all the way to the floor, and it was engaging at the bottom like 5-10 millimeters. So to adjust that, you'll see this rod right here that goes into the firewall. So you want to take this bit out because it probably won't spin freely on its own if it hasn't been touched in forever like mine. You'll take off this 12 millimeter nut right here. And then once this is free, you can just wiggle it back and forth and then put this bit back on with this cotter pin. And then you can spin the shaft whichever way you want. If you need it to be less, you counterclockwise. In my case, I needed the engagement to be closer to me, so spin it clockwise for that. And then when you're done, you just tighten up the nut and then test it out. Start the car, make sure it goes into all the gears correctly, and then you'll have it all set up. But it's pretty simple as of right now. Next step is put the seat back in, take it over to a buddy's house so I can actually put it on a jack. I think there's less transmission fluid in it than what there needs to be. Sometimes it grinds in certain gears, and the transmission was completely empty, and I just put 5 quarts in, so it probably needs about 5.5 or 6. And then, now that everything else has been figured out as far as engine management goes, it runs and it drives, normally. Let me just get this hood prop. There we go. Oh, she's a beaut. But yeah, step 1, need to delete the blow-off valve. It's not hooked up right now because it's causing a huge leak. The shop I took it to check everything over just told me to get rid of it. So I'm gonna find a connector. I think Mishimoto sells one that just goes from here to here, and then cut this bit out. I won't have to cut it out, but they sell one without this. And then apparently from the factory, these don't run a blow-off valve or recirculating valve like the MR2s. So it'll just have nothing, which is fine. After that, put on or take out the airbox and put in a short ram intake. I'll just take this bit off and then buy an adapter. Prime MR2 sells one, I believe. And then last step before figuring out the really difficult stuff is, you guys can't see it because it's such a fucking mess in this engine bay, but on the side of the intake manifold down here, there's vacuum hoses that go to the TBIS system. Now, Toyota created the TBIS system to help with low-end torque, apparently. All it is a bunch of butterfly valves that open or close depending on RPM. At lower RPMs, they're closed. I guess letting more airflow only to, I don't know, certain cylinders or whatnot. And then they open above 4,300 RPM. People say that you can't tell the difference if you delete it or not, or just even plug the vacuum hose. So I'm just gonna plug it and see what it feels like. And if it feels the exact same way, like the car feels the same, then I'll probably just buy some billet plates and put those in there, because there's horror stories on these cars of the butterfly valves breaking off and going straight into the head and just destroying everything. So delete that if that's fine. Buy some billet plates, new intake. Trying to think. Oh yeah, and then the idle is screwed up right now because of this guy right down here too, I think is the culprit, the idle air control valve. Now I'm not really sure what to do about that, but I just know that if you turn the car on and you pinch one of these hoses right down here that goes straight to it, the car's idle drops significantly. It's idling at 1200 right now, and if you do that, it idles right at 900, which is right where it needs to be. So I'm guessing it's letting excess air by for some apparent reason. I don't know if the valve's getting stuck, or they said either the valve gets stuck or it's reading off coolant temperature, because whenever you first start the car, the coolant's cold. And if there's an air pocket or something, or a faulty sensor, then it'll read it as, I guess, hot, and it'll close it, or I don't know how it exactly works, but that's the basis of it. So I just need to get all that done, and then, you know, get this thing actually cleaned up looking good. I've still got the heat shield that I have to put on, so we're not getting soaked on the intercooler, but I think I'm just gonna fit a front mount on this thing. Just make it a little bit better and cleaner in the engine bay. Less stuff to take out on top. I'm just not exactly sure where to fit it up front. That's another thing, is the oil leak is coming out of the rear main seal, which I didn't replace. I should have, but I didn't take off the flywheel even. And I figured, you know, it didn't leak before, why would it leak now? It's probably fine. Well, I know to never do that again, because if I want to replace that and stop the oil leak, I'm going to have to drop the whole drivetrain again, which I'm not doing. I just got the car back. And, you know, that would just not be fun. But that's what I would have to do. Drop the whole transmission, engine, split them apart, take the flywheel off, get the seal out, put the seal back in, and then do it all again. I'm sure I could do it in a day, just because I've taken this car apart like twice now. So it's not it's not hard for me. It's just like, it's time consuming. It would take probably 3 or 4 hours to do it. And it's like, you know, do I really want to do that, or I'll just let it leak a little bit of oil, because it's really not leaking a whole lot right now. It's just a teeny tiny bit. So, but figure out front mount situation, fix the idle problem. The clutch is now fixed, so that's one less thing that I have to worry about. Have to put the sticker on the back, because they looked in my car for a couple hours just to see if anything was going wrong. I'm trying to think. We got the Mazda Speeds 2, Speed 6, Speed 3, both 2007s. Check the oil. All this stuff I can take out. This all old junk that I deleted, like the cruise control. Since I have that steering wheel now, I don't need cruise control. This is the top mount intercooler fan that the guy before me had fitted. I could probably put this rubber back on. I don't really know if I want to. It was just, you know, it'd probably make things more hot anyways. Charcoal canister, which I deleted. Don't need that guy anymore. And then ABS lines, which I was going to get new ABS lines, but after looking for them, they're impossible to find for this car. Apparently 2007 Camrys have the same ABS, so, excuse me, if I wanted to fix that, I could, but I just don't feel the need to. And I see a lot of people, especially like on the RCs. I don't even know if the RCs had ABS from factory. I think it's just an all-track and GT4 thing, but most people just get rid of the ABS, because, you know, if you're a good enough driver, if it's a rally car, or if you just don't want to screw with it, it's less lines and less shit to go wrong and get air in. So most people just delete the ABS as it is. I should have done that while I had this whole thing out, but I didn't really think about it, and I really wanted my car back. So, but other than that, I think I'll probably end the video here and update you guys on next things. I know I need to fix these fenders all the way. There's a bit of metal, like this bit flaps right here, which is kind of annoying. And then get an RC front bumper. Other than that though, like everything on this car works amazing, which I'm really happy about and proud of. This was like my first big thing, which was really neat. I need to, I should probably check the throttle position sensor too, just make sure that it's all dialed in. But for right now, the GT4 is looking great. The all-track, rather. Turn it into a GT4. I just want to, you know, make this thing as nice as possible, but I'm a broke teenager, so I can't, you know, just go balls to the wall crazy. We got to take things slow here, but, yeah, man.